Previously
on Flexmen. Well, Elon Musk owns Twitter, and I must say it's absolutely delicious. The meltdowns, the hot takes, Prague saying that they'll leave, then they end up staying, or deleting tweets to hide the fact that they said they threatened to leave in the first place. The memes, children. Oh, the memes. It has truly been a wild ride, and it's just getting started. Last we left off, it seemed like the deal was done and it was over. The meme was dead. Jamil came back to Twitter to infect her mental illness on the rest of us and promote She-Hulk attorney at law, albeit poorly. Then all hell broke loose. The Twitter board knew that the site really wasn't worth $44 billion, and they weren't letting Musk leave with the bag. I unfortunately sold my stock in Twitter after it plummeted like a rock, much like my subscriber growth count. So Twitter took Space Daddy to court. In the most baller-ass move ever, Elon Musk countersued. Basically, it was clear Elon wanted to get Twitter at a lower price because it seems like the site is loaded with bots. To put it in layman's terms, it's like finding out a girl you're dating doesn't have real boobs. She was actually wearing like fake slip-on breasts under her shirt the whole time. And for women to better understand, it's like a dude you like on Tinder, and he's actually 4'11". And he's a birthday clown as a side hustle. That's how bad the botting is on Twitter. It's something I didn't think about till I noticed She-Hulk attorney at law tweets seemed to do better numbers than the show itself. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, they're all bots. Elon's right. This video is brought to you by Established Titles. In the long ago, before the Great Potato Famine and hot and cold Brexit, or even toilet paper, makes you think. Scottish historians spoke of a time when people who owned great swaths of land were called lords and ladies, duchesses and dukes, and not your parents and grandparents. Established Titles allows you to buy 1 square foot of land or more on the private estate of Eldeston to officially call yourself a lord or lady. It is a project based in historic Scottish custom. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland. They work with global charities, One Tree Planted, and Trees for the Future to support global reforest efforts. There are 3 packs to choose from: Lordship, Ladyship, and Couples packs. By the way, each title pack comes with an official certificate with crest. Your certificate features a unique plot number, with which you can see the exact location of your land. This is an official title that you can put on your credit card, plane ticket, or even dating profiles. And remember, this isn't about your ego. You're fighting deforestation. You're a philanthropist. You are a kind and generous lord. Add that to your dating profile. Established Titles has told me that the first 200 people to purchase this title package using my link will effectively be next to my plot. It makes a great last-minute gift. Go to establishedtitles.com/itsagundam and help support the channel. They are now running a massive Black Friday sale, plus 10% off any purchase with the code IT'SAGUNDAM. Thanks to Established Titles for sponsoring this video.
I just watched the finale of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and I've got to say, I think that show is the best thing Marvel have done since Endgame. That last episode was like blazing saddles. It was great.
This is funny. He's gay!
After the smoke cleared, it seemed more advantageous for Elon to take the L and agree to complete the deal of owning Twitter. Progressives on the site decided to ignore this news, like an old man with a malignant tumor on his buttocks. On October 4th, Elon Musk officially agreed to the acquisition deal. Shares were locked, and there was no way in hell I was making my money back.
Fine. Take it all. I've had too much for too long.
Even before Elon stepped foot in Twitter, news articles started to be published. The Musk was ready to drop dead weight.
Elon Musk to cut Twitter staff by 75% as Biden worries the deal threatens national security. The court-ordered deadline for Musk to close the deal with Twitter is next week.
Then Twitter staff sent an open letter to Time. Exclusive: Twitter employees protest Elon Musk's plan to fire 75% of workforce. How can you protest being fired? Especially if the staff is rarely in the building. Elon Musk could just change the locks and that would be that. How is this a flex?
Staff, Elon Musk, the board of directors. We, The undersigned Twitter workers believe the public conversation is in jeopardy. Elon Musk's plan to lay off 75% of the Twitter workforce will hurt Twitter's ability to serve the public conversation. A threat of this magnitude is reckless, undermines our users and customers' trust in our platform, and is a transparent act of worker intimidation.
I have zero faith and trust in Twitter. Before Musk, I might have a smidgen more after Musk, but we'll see.
Twitter has a significant effects on societies and communities across the globe.
But you guys said earlier it didn't have that. Who's lying now?
Does Twitter have the ability to influence elections?
No.
You don't believe Twitter has any ability to influence elections?
No, we are one part of a broad spectrum of communication channels that people have.
So you're testifying to this committee right now that Twitter, when it silences people, when it censors people, when it blocks political speech, that has no impact on elections?
People have choice of other communication channels with which...
Not if they don't hear information.
Somoza called himself president. The Sandinistas called him a dictator. They called themselves freedom fighters. He called them commie terrorists. So they kicked him out, then they were in charge. Ronald Reagan called them commie oppressors, and he sent in the Contras, whom he called freedom fighters, and they called mercenary terrorists. So, basically, what you're called depends largely on who's doing the talking, because hypocrisy is the Vaseline of political intercourse. They didn't like what they saw, so they changed it to make it sound better. Just like in these personal ads. It sounds great, but it's all lies.
As we speak, Twitter is helping to uplift independent journalism in the Ukraine and Iran, as well as powering social movements around the world.
The summer of love comes to mind. Remember all those times America was burning? That was positive. Remember when, like, people were getting canceled for having opinions? That was positive. Remember when the trans movement was threatening to kill J.K. Rowling? Overwhelmingly positive. Oh my God.
You remember that?
We, the workers at Twitter, will not be intimidated. We recommit to supporting the communities, organizations, and businesses who rely on Twitter. We will not stop serving the public conversation.
You will if he fires you. You know, this rule number 1 in the 48 Laws of Power, never outshine the master, is one of them. Musk doesn't have to take this. The Musk can replace you. It's like, it's just, I got nothing for this. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, they have demands.
We demand of current and future leadership respect. We demand leadership to respect the platform and the workers who maintain it by committing to preserving the current headcount. Safety. We demand leadership does not discriminate against workers on the basis of their race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, or political beliefs. We also demand safety for workers on visas who will be forced to leave the country they work in if they are laid off.
What does your race, gender, and sexual orientation have to do with anything? Your political beliefs will be an issue if you're politically biased, which Twitter has been for years now. So I could understand Elon Musk taking some of you little fuckers and throwing you out on your ass.
We also demand safety for workers on visas who will be forced to leave the country.
Well, what do you want the Musk to do? If he gets rid of you guys, I guess they go back to their country. And then maybe hire an American. Is that like a hot take now? More jobs for Americans? Am I a bigot for that?
Protection. We demand Elon Musk explicitly commit to preserving our benefits. Those both listed in the merger agreement and not, i.e. remote work.
It'll be even easier to fire you. You're already at home. These are shitty demands. You can't fire me. You're already out of the building.
We demand leadership to establish and ensure fair severance policies for all workers before and after any changes in ownership.
These are a lot of demands. How can you make demands when you're like the one that's at a disadvantage? It's almost like being kidnapped and you're tied up and it's like, I have demands. You hear me, Tyrone?
Dignity. We demand transparent, prompt, and thoughtful communication around our working conditions.
On what planet does this exist? I've never had a job like that. That was at the behest of the people who ran the business. And if at any time the boss was sick of you, I was gone.
We demand to be treated with dignity and not to be treated as mere pawns in a game played by billionaires.
Newsflash, you're in America. We are pawns in the billionaires' games every day. If we go to war, guess who's the pawns? You and me, buddy. You poor thing, you don't realize you're only a cog in this system. Now, after hearing this rousing speech from the Twitter board, it would probably help you if you understood what it was like to work in Twitter. I warn you, this video is very graphic. You will see some of the most back-breaking labor you've ever laid your eyes on.
Welcome to a day in my life as a Twitter employee. So this past week, went to SF for the first time at a Twitter office, badged in. Honestly, took a moment to just soak everything in. What a blessing. Also started my morning off with an iced matcha from the perch. Then I had a meeting, so quickly scheduled one of these little pod rooms, which were so cool. They're literally noise canceling.
The Leaning Tower of Dildo.
Then the hammer truly fell on October 26. Elon Musk walked into the Twitter offices carrying a sink with a quote tweet saying, "Let that sink in." What actually made this joke great is the dude fired CEOs off the bat. Parag Agrawal, I believe. Mr. Twitter isn't a free speech platform, huh? You're through. Head of trust and safety. Don't trust you. Pack your shit and go. Let it sink in. One woman was so mad, she posted this TikTok under Elon's sink tweet. Like, lady, Musk bought Twitter. The Nazis didn't invade Poland and France. Calm down. You aren't a freedom fighter. You're a bored housewife making TikTok videos.
Stop saying the Democrats are just gonna lose. You know, the entire world said the Ukrainians were just gonna lose. That it was inevitable. That Russia was just too strong, too big, too powerful. Well, that was bullshit. The Ukrainians cared more. They fought back. They were told to surrender and they said, "Hey, Russian warship, go f*** yourselves." And that is what those of us who love democracy have to say. That's the energy we have to embrace. Hey, Republican Party, go f*** yourselves. You think you can cheat and steal and lie and win? You think you can just take our rights from us and our vote from us and our freedoms from us and we're just gonna let you? I don't think so. Yeah, I wish the Democrats could get their shit together and put together a messaging platform that makes sense, that speaks to the moment. But if they can't, we're just gonna have to do it without them. Just like the brave Ukrainian citizens fought back from their own windows and made their own Molotov cocktails and acted like the ballers that they were, Democratic voters are not just gonna give up because everyone says we're gonna lose. I'm fighting for democracy from my own goddamn kitchen.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just want to die sooner.
Sometimes it's just very clear that most Americans that are into politics are completely and utterly unhinged, with a lot of free time and dumb ideas. The fact that Elon Musk buying Twitter is constantly being equated to the Ukrainian war actually sickens me as a human being. This is why the rest of the world thinks American assholes. Because one little thing inconveniences us, and when I say little, I mean absolutely minute. Elon Musk owning Twitter does not change your life. It won't keep your kid from going to college. It won't turn your daughter gay or not gay or whatever the hell you're interested in. It's just a minute thing in the world. You could stop using Twitter and you would live a full life. The people in the Ukraine are at war. You are upset about a messaging site. God have mercy. It feels like I'm taking crazy pills. Or it's like I'm one of the few Americans left that has one foot left in reality. Forget touching grass. It doesn't work. Smoke some grass, you crazy old bitch.
This is huge. Elon Musk is officially taking over Twitter. The first thing he did was fire CEO Parag Agrawal and the head of trust and safety responsible for censorship on Twitter. Reports are at least one executive was escorted out of the building. Amazing.
Good for Musk. Take the executive out, but while you're taking him out, give him a goddamn wedgie.
Time for your wedgie, nerd. Please, nerd! Nerd!
Anyway, long story short, Parag Agrawal made Jack Dorsey seem reasonable and completely based. Vijaya Gadde is the woman you saw get owned by Tim Pool on the Joe Rogan Experience. She also banned Trump personally and Sargon of Akkad, if I remember correctly. Other members of the Trust and Safety team included a woman who played Young Boy Number 1 on To Catch a Predator. I know, an amazing resume. In my previous video, you may recall me using clips of her TED Talks explaining how they needed to protect people from themselves. Yes, that's right, you may be an adult, but you need someone to protect you from your own thoughts and possibility of saying wrong thing. Yeah, sure, lady. Trans activists running rampant on Twitter is perfectly fine. I say gas the weebs and I go down in flames. The site's working perfectly before Musk. Elon then tweeted this: meeting a lot of cool people on Twitter today, exclamation point. You sure did, Elon. Judging by the look on that lady's face, she was stabbing you in the head with an environmentally conscious wooden fork in her fantasies. The next woman looks like she's overcome with joy or crippling depression.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's clinical depression.
Of course, some Twitter workers took to Twitter to make a scene.
Hey, Elon Musk. Thanks for visiting Twitter San Francisco. Hope you enjoyed your coffee at the Perch. Just one question. Was it fun to look at the faces of the people you said you'd be laying off?
With the news of Elon Musk telling Parag to kick rocks, the fact anyone is acting like this is terrible for the people at the top is insane. Parag is walking away with a $122 million golden parachute, and Vijaya Gaddy is walking away with $66 million if I recall correctly. If YouTube paid me $10 million, I'd delete my channel tonight. And that's in USD, Susan. Don't try and give me any of that like Cambodian money, the bot or whatever they call it. Journalists smelling blood in the water were ready to believe Elon Musk was walking through Twitter firing people at will. Deborah Boza, I believe, from CNBC, was the first to be fooled by the trolls posing as Twitter employees. These men were masters of disguise. They stood outside with a box.
That is diabolical.
And one of them even went by the code name Ligma. Get it? Ligma balls? Ligma Johnson? For God's sakes. He pulled out a copy of Michelle Obama's book and said, and I quote, Michelle Obama wouldn't have happened if Elon Musk owned Twitter.
Britney happened.
Michelle Obama wouldn't have happened.
Elon Musk Twitter. I don't
Elon
know.
Musk
Right? This
owned
used to be a
Twitter.
town square.
You know, Obama in
and
2008 wouldn't have happened.
Who laid you off?
Without
my
like
director,
an
our
Elon
entire
Musk
team got
owned
laid
Twitter.
off.
You need
Yeah, data
free
engineering.
speech is when.
At no point did any of the journalists say, okay, this is a troll.
I think Twitter will look like.
I mean, if free speech is, Nazis saying that, trans women shouldn't, use women's locker rooms, then awesome. I guess mission accomplished. We'll see. Listen, I got to touch base with my husband and wife. I got to get out of here, all right? Thank you, guys.
What's your name?
Sorry. Daniel. Thank you.
Your last name? What's your surname?
Wait, what? I have to touch base with my husband and my wife. For God's sakes, Fox News. Even Taylor Lorenzo was fooled by these guys. What more can I say? Now, what makes this slightly funnier is the fact that Deborah didn't want to take the L on this tweet. So instead of deleting it and admitting, hey, we got fooled by some douchebags, she went with,
we are unable to confirm their identities.
Translation, I don't want to delete my engagement. Take notice of this. The reason why journalists are addicted to Twitter and all of them spend their time on this site is because companies like the New York Times, Washington Post, etc. hire and scale your pay by your Twitter presence. Once you know this, it all makes sense why they are chronically on this site. At the end of the day, it's more about making money and securing the next gig rather than the betterment of mankind as they often present themselves. Unlike Papa Gundam, I'm in it for the money. And if I can't have fun making videos anymore, I might as well get paid and laid. Subscribe now, you little bigots. For the most part, Gunpla Twitter is way on the left. So if you're into the Gundam anime series and you're on Twitter, you already know this. Well, one tweet went semi-viral comparing Elon Musk's Twitter letter to Char Aznable's speech from Gundam Char's counterattack.
My girlfriend said the Elon Musk Twitter statement sounded like a Gundam villain speech. and I can't stop thinking about it.
Whenever you see somebody spell out the name of someone in this weird manner, it's to avoid giving the name traction or something. It's some weird Twitter tactic that only people have pronouns in their bio use. No, he has pronouns in his bio. See what I'm saying?
Char is a better person than Elon Musk, and Char murdered people with space rocks.
Yes. Fictional character is better than a real person who's actually done something.
Please don't compare Char to the tiny man Elon Musk. Char is more of a man than Elon Musk could ever be. Hell, that Quadraro is 10 times the man than Elon Musk is. Don't compare them. Oh wait, they're both jerks trying to destroy the Earth.
If you don't watch Gundam, you're kind of like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm not going to explain to you the nuances between the timeline of 0079 up to 0093. But point being, this makes zero sense if you have one foot in reality. As I said, sometimes people need to touch some grass. I suggest buying cat grass and putting it on your computer desk to help you through these struggles. Good Lord, Char killed a lot of people. Like, a lot. He killed dude, he even killed a dude who looked like him in Origins.
He thinks people are going to debate in a healthy manner. He really hasn't been on Twitter enough. Elon is on Twitter all the time. Some people get death threats and doxx just for being gay/trans. There's no debate open for that.
And I've seen gay/trans people threaten and dox people all the time on Twitter. You see, frankly, most people on Twitter are assholes on both sides of the spectrum. That's what everybody forgets. And sometimes everybody just has this sort of eye for an eye mentality, but they forget the part where it's like an eye for an eye leaves the world blind, but they don't really care. As long as you have pronouns in your bio.
I don't think this is the effect you think it does. Char is a very popular character.
Agreed. I have so much Char stuff that literally my lead designer calls me, and I quote, Char fanboy.
The joke is that he's giving a dramatic and impassioned speech over a simple business acquisition, acting as if the fate of humanity rests on the outcome.
And remember, this is all just satire.
Well, I would say that a lot of American culture is heavily influenced by Twitter, despite the fact that Twitter is insignificant in the grand scheme of things with most Americans. But for some reason, companies and people in Hollywood don't understand that Twitter doesn't reflect the whole country. Therefore, Twitter does have a great deal of influence on the current social and political state culturally, I should say. It's cancer culture, honest to God, is Twitter. If Elon Musk comes in and things kind of get back to some semblance of neutral, in the sense of people learn to just suck it up if you see something you don't like and move on with your life, it may trickle down into the rest of entertainment, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we won't get gay Superman anymore. I mean, yeah, it's canceled, but it was terrible. It was bad. Nobody wanted it, you know, but Twitter liked it. Too bad everyone on Twitter didn't buy it. That's the point we're making here. But when you're oblivious of that, it won't make sense to you.
I'm not left or right. I'm with humanity. Red flag, fascist. Do you have to ask why allowing people to argue is fascism? Because I'm very confused. Fascism often resorts to the fallacy of being anti-system, a third way against the usual political spectrums. Musk's intentions, as his speech demonstrates, are very shady. The part where he appeals for the help of humanity against political ideologies is fascism 101.
And what the hell was Twitter before? It wasn't fascist in some sense. It wasn't heavily skewed to one side. It wasn't biased. Is that what you're going to say? Notice how we pretend Twitter wasn't this hellscape of a platform literally a week ago.
It's a Char-ass ramble. But if Musk is anyone, he's Chiraco.
And who's going to be Camille Badon? Huh? Some ass with autism? If you don't know, the Gundam fan base on Twitter believes Camille has autism, so wrap your head around that.
Just look at how Jeff Bezos deliberately cosplays as Lex Luthor.
Yes, because bald men in suits are all trying to be Lex Luthor. Jeff Bezos was going bald, and he made the choice to shave what hair he had left, which was a power move. Being bald by choice is a move. Going bald isn't a choice. That's how you know a man has his life in his hands.
These billionaire oligarchs really see themselves as Bond antagonists and supervillains instead of, you know, the reality of being a cross between the guy who robs old ladies for their pension checks and a slumlord.
Yes, Elon Musk is incredibly stupid. He just managed to become a billionaire.
That's because he is one. There is no situation in which he has not acted like a Gundam villain. Not in any regard in which he does not behave like a Gundam villain.
I don't know, he hasn't killed anybody. He hasn't led the Titans. He hasn't dropped a colony on Australia. Literally, what Gundam villain sits on the internet and memes about cookies, bro? Like, on what planet do you look at Elon Musk and you're like, he's just like a Gundam villain. He's like, he's Dozel Zabi. No, he's Giran Zabi, that's it. Elon Musk is just like Giran Zabi. Oh my God. Good Lord. This is why people don't respect weebs. I saw Elon Musk talking about bread being one of the pleasures in life. And all I could think was like, wow, he's Scirocco. It's obvious that their souls and brains have been weighed down by gravity. The Twitter hot takes didn't stop there. Wired.
A Musk-owned Twitter could be disastrous for women in marginalized communities already facing abuse and targeted harassment on the platform. Remember that time when a billionaire was so pissed off at trans people that he bought a social media network? LOL, everyone knows Elon Musk is doing this because we transed his daughter, we took his wife, and banned his favorite transphobic accounts. Elon Musk doesn't even know who you are.
I've come to the conclusion that Twitter is home to a lot of people that are mentally unstable and self-obsessed. And that's coming from me. Even Hollywood had to lash out at Musk. As we all know, Hollywood actors are usually very liberal till something affects them, as we learned from the Summer of Love. From burn it all down to get these animals out of my neighborhood. Remember the pandemic? People were literally fighting in grocery aisles for toilet paper, reselling sanitary wipes for an absorbent profit. It was like Fallout New Vegas in real life, while Gal Gadot and Will Ferrell sang Imagine. It was almost as if two alternate realities meshed into one hellscape timeline we called 2020. The Baldwin brothers chimed in. These people haven't been relevant since the 90s, maybe even the 80s. Or since that movie from last year where somebody got shot, if we want to really split hairs.
Elon Musk says he wants speech on Twitter to be free. Now that he's in charge, let's test that. Describe Elon Musk in one word. Don't hold back. Want to annoy Elon by helping build a blue wave in a way he can never stop? Download this amazing app, ASAP, that gets all of your friends to vote out MAGA and gives the Biden the win he needs. Get it now before Elon bans it or us from Twitter.
Good Lord, this is dumber than the Gundam take. Yeah, Billy, Musk really gets his panties up in a twist if you vote blue. This seems disingenuous. Expected from a Hollywood actor, to be honest. Hey, Billy, how's that blue wave working for California, am I right? Frankly, I'm tired of Dems doing trash TikToks or hiring TikTok stars to make them seem cool. It's pathetic and a waste of taxpayer money. And I'm also sick of Republicans being cool with me owning a gun, but having an issue with me rolling a goddamn doobie. He's also pushing an app. This is sketchy. And if you can't see through it, I'd like to sell you some crypto beefcakes.
Letting a reckless ideologue take full control of what is essentially a public utility.
If Twitter's a public utility, it is absolutely garbage.
Less than 2 weeks before Election Day is insane.
So is talking to Dylan 2 weeks before election. I think that's insane. Record inflation. Let's hear about what Dylan thinks. Day 200 and something of being a girl. I'm here with Joe Biden.
$43 billion seems like a lot of money to spend to stop people from tweeting out this photo.
Well, obviously, it doesn't seem like it was stopped if we're looking at it, huh?
Or this one.
This is why progressives suck. Republicans suck, but like progressives suck more. Way more. If a monkey is hoarding more bananas than it could eat while most of the other monkeys starve, scientists would study that monkey to figure out what the heck was wrong with it. And when humans do it, we put them on the cover of Forbes. When I met Elon over the summer, he radiated pure kindness. He also cares deeply about humanity, and I genuinely don't understand why some hate him. He's rich, and he bought Twitter. Progressives loved Elon Musk for the longest time. They're trying to get us all in electric cars. Remember that? They're still trying. But then the second Elon Musk sort of like stopped towing the narrative line, and then he bought Twitter, they just turned on him like piranha. But frankly, ma'am, you're probably a bigot because you like Elon Musk. If you don't know, Gundam Twitter told me that Elon Musk is practically Char Aznable.
We need to outlaw billionaires. Put a wealth cap on them. They can have 900 million total. The rest goes to the public good. We could end hunger and homelessness and maybe even cure cancer if we did that. These people could still be very rich, just not grotesquely so. Billionaires could either comply and still live a life of luxury, or we can take that last $900 million too, and they can rot in jail for non-compliance. If they comply, everybody wins. If they don't, the public still wins, but they themselves lose. This should be worldwide.
This is the child's viewpoint of the world, or a communist viewpoint, whichever you choose. This is exactly, like I said before, very Nietzschean, the ressentiment. Instead of bettering yourself and doing something to elevate your very existence, which all people should do, you would rather sit around and complain about someone that somehow became a billionaire. I don't know how Elon fully did it. I don't know how any of these people became billionaires. But I can tell you this, from trying to become a millionaire, it's hard as a motherfucker. I can't even imagine trying to become a billionaire. Point being, no one owes you anything. What's your problem? You're borderline retarded. And if they don't comply with these crazy rules I came up with, we put them in jail because they're criminals. Yes. You've worked hard and became successful. You're a criminal. I can understand having a grudge against someone born into wealth, but not someone that made it on their own. Good Lord, Derek.
How about Elon Musk and everyone else and every other person in America pay their fair share of taxes based on what they make? End of story.
Believe you me, the government knows when you make a few dimes and nickels because they get up your ass. What I learned so far is that people are criminally biased on Twitter and fundamentally insane. Another Hollywood actress had a problem by the name of Maureen Curtis.
I'm sorry, but I cannot be part of anything owned by Elon Musk and his cabal of deplorables. I'll stay on for a couple days so that we can say goodbye, but after that, I'm gone.
Okay, she was in Star Trek The Next Generation and the new crappy series Picard for like 5 seconds. No one knows who she is without a Google search. I dare say at this point, I'm more famous than she is. It's like a hobo across the street, throwing shit at your window, screaming, "I'll leave the neighborhood," like who cares? Be gone with you, you vagabond. She got destroyed in the comments. It was hilarious.
Just laughing at you. All of us are. I had to Google her to find out who she even was. Why wait a couple of days? Are you waiting for someone to beg you not to leave? Really? Go now. Nobody cares. A lot of people care.
Just you, David. I looked through the comments. Nobody really cared. Before Musk bought Twitter, all of these progressive and Hollywood types loved Elon. They're like, oh, the electric car. No. The second Elon just sort of asked the wrong questions instead of buying Twitter, they just turned on him. Mick Foley deletes Twitter after Elon Musk acquires it. Who cares?
Elon Musk is such a moron. The guy stumbled into making some money on PayPal, right?
Oh man, there's like 5 guys out there who are gonna be so mad.
The guy is like partially responsible for PayPal, the payment service that sucks. Great job. Then he purchased an interest in Tesla after the company started, kicked out the original founder who sued them, and then got an arbitrator to decide, or maybe I forget exactly how they decided it, but he got himself listed as a co-founder, invented nothing with that company. SpaceX, you know why SpaceX exists?
He bought it from guys.
He bought it, but also the federal government decided it was going to get out of the business of doing NASA and sending people to space. And it said, we're going to start like paying private companies to do it. And SpaceX was just like, we'll take that money, please. And that's it.
What amazes me is how many people say that Elon Musk is stupid and he became the richest man on the planet. You don't get that rich being retarded. If that was the case, everyone on TikTok would be a billionaire instead of being neurodivergent puppy kitten self zer pronouns. Elon Musk began to post. The bird was freed. This sent progressives into a mad fury. Even an EU politician chimed in.
In Europe, the bird will fly by our rules. Hello, Elon Musk.
You need to focus on Russia, buddy, not what Elon Musk is doing. Get your priorities in order. The Verge also posted their hit piece.
Welcome to hell, Elon. You break it, you buy it.
Twitter was already broken. What are you talking about?
You up real good, kiddo. Twitter is a disaster clown car company that is successful despite itself. And there is no possible way to grow users and revenue without making serious, enormous compromises. How Elon Musk's Twitter buy could affect elections.
Okay, so before Musk owned Twitter, Twitter didn't affect elections, right? Now that Musk owns Twitter, it could affect elections. I see. It makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it.
It's like the gates of hell open on this site tonight. You're so funny. You're the coolest guy on here. All the smart people think you're cool and funny. You're Bowie. You're Prince. You're so funny, Elon. We all think you're awesome, okay?
Patton Oswalt should exercise shutting the f up. This dude has no backbone. He took a picture of Dave Chappelle, a friend of his supposedly, and then when he got roasted on Twitter, he immediately apologized for taking a picture standing next to his friend and smiling. Stay on Twitter, hold your ground like a Ukrainian. Here we go with the Ukraine thing again. I've already said my piece on that. Oh, we've got Occupy Democrats. Didn't they request an incel task force recently? Let's look this up, because I know I got it. Retweet if you think we need an incel task force. Yes, we need a SWAT teams designed specifically to hunt down fat, loseristic men.
Breaking. Elon Musk tweets a video of him moving into Twitter headquarters. It's signaling that his purchase is complete in retaliation to his plans to invite Trump and his neo-Nazis back. Wow, that's a leap.
Well, let's go check out this hot new site full of fun.
To all the Trump supporters who are accusing us of censoring them on our new social network.
That was fast.
We don't censor any post. Our algorithm simply filters out fake news, bigotry, and hostility. If you want to trend on our network, your posts must be factually and free of bigotry.
Well, who decides what's factual and free of bigotry?
I couldn't imagine that these people could even achieve an orgasm. They're so repressed and uptight.
That site sounds like a load of fun and not an echo chamber of a single political thought or idea. Tribelsocial wants people to use their real name.
I was able to come up with a handle name, but I've deleted now. All of my info was public, so if you want everyone to know your name, birthday, gender, and state, no thanks.
Wow. Tribesocial literally needs you to dox yourself to join. What fun! Frankly, at the end of the day, Tribesocial will do as well as the conservative Twitter alternatives. People will use it for a few days or weeks, then filter back to Twitter. Just like YouTube. All the other games in town pale in comparison. The roots are just too deep unless something fresh and new drops, kind of like how TikTok took on YouTube. And then the culture itself shifts around the new app or platform. But, to be fair, it's not all sunshine and rainbows under Lord Musk. Use the N-word has jumped up by 500%, news outlets say. Mostly this is done by trolls and a few progs with sock accounts, trying to grease the wheels of Elon is bad. Because horror of horrors, most people on Twitter are angry at on both sides of the spectrum. Also, there were some weird things going on with the Twitter code that I found fairly funny.
I have come into possession of Twitter information so silly that I have no choice but to write a bonus Friday newsletter. Here it is. Twitter engineers were told today to print out their last 30 to 60 days of code so they could show it to Elon Musk himself. Then they were told, wait, no, actually, please shred all that code you just printed out. According to 4 current employees, engineers spent Friday afternoon at Twitter dutifully printing out their code in anticipation of meetings with Musk and some of his senior engineers from Tesla. Other engineers were told to prepare for a code pairing with Musk, in which they would sit with him and review code together. Oh, it sounds like a treat! Just after noon, an executive assistant asks engineers to begin preparing code to show Musk. Please print out 50 pages of code you've done in the last 30 days. If you haven't submitted code in the last 30 days, then you could go back up to 60 days. The assistant wrote in a Slack message obtained by a platformer. Please be ready to show your computer as well to Daddy Musk.
And then it's just like, screw it. Nobody wants to look at this, shred it. To be fair, Elon Musk did say comedy is now legal on Twitter. And that was a low moment. On October 31st, Space Daddy kicked Twitter in the sack by making Twitter verification a paid feature, and people lost their collective. I won't pay $20 for this garbage, and according to the blue check marks, they won't pay either. For some people, the blue check mark is a status symbol. Nowhere else in life do these people matter, but on Twitter, they have that check mark. And let's face it, Twitter uses the checkmark system like a class system that the oligarchs of the platform had with such a perverse glee. Stephen King chimed in. Remember him? You probably don't.
$20 a month to keep my blue check mark? That, they should pay me. If that gets instituted, I'm gone like Enron.
I think he said Enron, I don't care. For real though, I'm eating lunch, so I don't care. Stephen King coming through with total boomer energy. My mother says this all the time with like stuff. She's like, I have to pay for this? I'm not paying for that. They should pay me. It's like nobody's gonna pay you. They don't even want to pay your ass attention. And Stephen King thinks we're gonna be bothered by it. Go ask the chick who played Counselor Troy on The Next Generation if we're losing sleep that she left. Elon Musk comes in and says,
we need to pay the bill somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8?
Say $8 is too rich for my blood too. It's like, isn't that the same price as HBO Max? And let's be real here. I get more enjoyment out of HBO Max than Twitter. Twitter sucks. I'm not going to turn this to a whole-on thing of like celebrities and stuff saying crap because screw them. AOC comes in here, an influencer that dabbles in politics.
Laughing my ass off at the billionaire earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually an $8 a month subscription plan.
Elon Musk says,
your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8.
The fact that this even exists and it's bothering blue check marks like AOC, I'm actually all for it. If for the troll factor alone. She'll pay though. She'll pay. She drives a Tesla, so. Really, Queen? No.
I was at a community event in the Bronx in Co-op City. And when I get home, I see a text from my team saying, hey, let me know if you need any help with this Elon stuff. And I was like, what? So I pull up my Twitter app. And it's like gone. Like when you pull up your mentions and stuff like that, it's just like literally like a blank screen. Totally gone. And I was like, that's weird. So it turns out we got under a certain little billionaire skin.
No.
Sure, AOC. Your little tweet about Twitter being $8 got under Elon Musk's skin. Yeah. You wish you had that much power. Let's face it. You take one look at Elon's Twitter page, or you take a look at him out and about, the man is living his best life, memeing all over the left all day. Like literally, the dude is doing victory laps around you guys. And it's fun. It's funny. This is what it's like when someone can have fun. You see, you think you're the one under the skin, but it's not. He's under yours because you did an Instagram story about this dumb that really doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. But I'm glad you did it. It's free content for me. And I'm going to pick that content cotton. Vox made valid points about Twitter Blue, regrettably. Or I should say Twitter verification.
Verification check marks without verification of identity defeats the purpose and instead simply provides proof of payment, York said. While charging users for features is fine on its own, it makes no sense to call this verification. For people who aren't verified and have always wanted to be, I could see why paying for blue checkmark is attractive. But Musk and his acolytes, who seem to think blue checks are only about status, don't seem to understand why the company has, over the years, made a series of decisions about who and what the platform should verify, amplify, or suppress. These decisions weren't made because Twitter employees are sensitive snowflakes who can't stand to see conservative viewpoints. They were made because Twitter's a business, and it made a business decision to minimize objectionable and harmful users and content.
See, this creates the hierarchy and oligarchy that Elon Musk spoke about. While I agree, yeah, handing out check marks because someone was willing to pay is not the move to make, I also feel that Twitter did weaponize the checkmark status. Only certain people were able to get it, when you're completely and undeniably who you were. Whereas on my account, Twitter has rejected me more times than I can count for verification. They're like, oh, send in your Google Analytics to prove, like Google Trending or some garbage. I send it in. Nope, not good enough. You're not who we think you are. Like, what? They're like, show us the web page you're on. I send my YouTube page with the link to my Twitter on the page, and they still rejected me. In fact, there was one occasion where they rejected me in 30 seconds, dude. And then Twitter Verification's official Twitter page added me to tell me I was denied and then deleted it before I could screen cap it.
You goddamn motherfuckers.
My mind was absolutely blown. So yes, these knuckles, when they choose, will decide who gets verification and who doesn't. And for certain content creators, the longer they can jerk you around, Lord have mercy, baby, they'll jerk you dry. So Elon Musk screwing up Twitter, love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Want to see more? I don't care if Twitter burns. Ivan Drago it. If Twitter dies, it dies.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
On November 1st, Daddy Musk started to strut his stuff by telling fired Twitter executives to go kick rocks. They weren't getting a golden parachute. Delicious. Elon also accused them of hiding evidence during the trial, which means that there could be another lawsuit. My God, I can hear my fellow YouTubers foaming at the mouth for those delicious day one clicks, baby. On November 4th, Elon Musk laid off 3,700 staff workers via email. We all knew it was coming. The news was saying forever he was going to lay off 75% of workers. So where's the big surprise? Major media outlets were gearing up for the firing like sneakerheads waiting for a shoe drop. They even paid attention to Heidi Klum's Halloween party birthday bash garbage. I don't know what it was. Elon Musk was there too, in some red outfit. He was called everything from a samurai to a Satanist, throwing up gang signs for the devil right before he fired poor unsuspecting Twitter workers. Here's the emails that Elon put out.
You're fired! Hello. As shared earlier today, Twitter is conducting a workforce reduction to help improve the health of the company. These decisions are never easy, and it was with great regret that we write to inform you that your role at Twitter has been impacted.
Good Lord, look how the world's changed. They write you this nice letter to let you know you don't have a job. Every job I ever had, when I was fired, they either escorted me out the building like I was a thief, or they waited for me at the door to tell me to go f myself.
Today is your last working day at the company. However, you will remain employed by the Twitter and will receive compensation and benefits through your separation date of February 2nd, 2023.
Wow, you get a paid vacation while you look for a new gig. Jesus Christ, this sounds like privilege to me. The other one was you're safe.
Hello, thank you for your patience through this transition and for your commitment to the important work you do. We are sending this email to confirm that your employment is not impacted by today's workforce reduction. Throughout the week, Elon has spent time with a number of employees, customers and partners, policymakers, and Twitter users. He is looking forward to the communication with everyone about his vision for the company soon. We know you'll likely have a number of questions, and we will have more information to share next week.
Elon's vision is to make as much money as quickly as possible because, let's face it, he just bought a lemon. Can't really blame him, but I think he's moving a little too fast with some of the ideas he's trying to implement. It's probably all going to implode, and let's face it, I like watching the world burn now. The aftermath was glorious. You had Twitter workers posting on Twitter that they were fired. Some even cried and posted photos of themselves crying about their job. You had left and right-wing people taking shots at one another. And let's be real, the Biden administration told pipeline workers that they can get another job. Why is it over the line to tell Twitter employees, you can get another job? Call me crazy, but I value a pipeline worker more than Twitter any day of the week because my motorcycle doesn't run on empty promises and broken dreams. It runs on gasoline, bitch. The best part of all of this was that news outlets were so hungry for interviews and news from Twitter workers that quit that DSP Detractors were successful in getting Dark Side Phil on the news for being a fired Twitter employee. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Banned, 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 banned.
A new chapter has begun at Twitter, and for half the people who work there, they will not be part of it. They were let go today, finding out by email that they no longer have a job.
I did
Let's
nothing
trend
wrong.
on the
I did
bewilderment
everything
amongst
correct.
Twitter workers.
This tweet from -5 was all it took to fool major media outlets.
I told my little son, Hortense, that Daddy might not have a job tomorrow. He said, Daddy, why don't the 1% understand that their actions have consequences that ripple out? Or don't they care? He's 4 years old. He has to see his daddy cry. Hashtag one team, hashtag love where you worked.
I have absolutely nothing. My mind is blown that literally Fox News and the rest looked at this and said, seems legitimate that a 1-year-old or whatever the hell this kid is would ask this question about the 1%. I gotta say, the fact that some people took pride working at Twitter and it was such a god-awful site. Twitter was horrendous. It was extremely biased. It was terrible. Cancel culture, death threats to anyone who didn't toe the line or even question gender. How could you work at Twitter and be like, yes, it was an honor? It'd be like saying it was an honor working for Chernobyl, you little bastard.
Well before this morning, they had worked their final days at Twitter and began sharing their stories on Twitter itself under the hashtag lovewhereyouworked. Some were angry, others say they appreciated their time at the company and they're looking forward.
That now news sites are like competing with YouTubers. So there's no more checks and balances. There's nobody looking at this and going, wait a minute, this seems stupid. You know, they're just like, run, run, go, go. We have to defeat Clownfish quickly. Not to end there. This dude trolls even the New York Times. Like, look at this. Now, I gotta admit, a lot of these people on Twitter are sitting there saying some pretty lame-o stuff. So I guess I can see how a journalist could be fooled. Oh, Twitter is the first place I worked where I didn't feel alone. You wouldn't understand the culture. Oh, good Lord. You're a 30-year-old woman. It's a job. Get it together. Oh, I wasn't alone at work. Jesus Christ. So when you see,
my name is Gonzalo Lair, and I am one of the faces of these Twitter layoffs. I'm not a joke, guys. I'm a person. I coach Little League. I go on walks with my wife. I am a drone hobbies. I helped design the little flag for Ukraine. For what? Baffling. Hashtag one team. Hashtag love where you work.
I saw this one of the New York Times. Like, what? Now you click it. Guess who it is? It's our boy -5 yet again memeing on the LA Times. Oh, and his pinned tweet is this.
Yes, media, you may use my tweet in your stories. This is a national outrage for us, our wives, and our wives' sons. Solidarity, love where you work.
Can no one read at the New York Times? I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. -5, I salute you. Wherever you may be, you have done the Lord's work. You gave me a slice of joy reading this absolute garbage. When I saw the New York Times link to this Twitter page with DSP in the bio or the banner of the page, I laughed so hard that I almost shit myself. So I was running to the toilet with my pants around my ankles, laughing, trying not to shit. Basically, the drama didn't end there either. The same lady who filed, I guess, a lawsuit with Elon Musk before to make sure the Twitter people got their money, she just filed another one. She's looking to cash in, I guess. Twitter sued by employees after mass layoffs begin. Because of course, let's just drag this dumb garbage out for as long as humanly possible.
He also suspended Kathy Griffin for impersonating him on a parody account, which has started a free Kathy hashtag to trend. I mean, I'm getting off. I'm getting off today.
Don't need you, don't care. Out you go.
Lovely.
God in heaven, it never ends. It's like a train wreck and a monster truck rally, with NASCAR crashes thrown into the mix. On November 6th, Blue Checkmarks, upset with Musk's Twitter Blue, decided to do what petulant children oftentimes do. Lash out. Or as we in the business like to call it, around find out. Elon Musk made it clear if you were caught impersonating people, you would be permabanned. A rational person with a real life would look at this and say, okay, whatever. Here's your $8. Or they'd say, go f yourself. I got kids to feed. This is what a normal person does. We get on with our lives. None of this matters. It's Twitter, you freak. People with no lives started impersonating Elon Musk days ago, acting like douchebags. Once again, blue check marks got a blue check mark. This, for some people on Twitter, this $8 was their Tiananmen Square children, okay? Yes, I'm deadly serious. The most notable is H3H3 attempting to be funny. God, I wish I had enough money where I could be this unfunny and somehow still relevant. If I don't come up with a good joke, people tell me I fell the f*** off. By the way, H3H3 was doing this directly on Elon Musk's timeline to be extra annoying. You know, like when you're dating a woman and she has her jackass kid high on pixie sticks and diplomatic immunity thinking he can dance and trot and stunt all over you. Well, unfortunately, H3H3 got wrecked immediately, suspended. Now that's comedy. Let's read one of Ethan's great tweets.
Ghislaine Maxwell is an extremely decent woman who I had the pleasure of meeting several years ago. It's a shame how she's been demonized and ran over by the press. Free Ghislaine.
Ah, yes. Nothing like linking someone to Queen's Island. That joke hasn't been done to death by blue check marks on Twitter, am I right? Kathy Griffin then dragged her tired ass into the mix. If you don't know who Kathy Griffin is, she used to be kind of famous in the early 90s. Then by the late 90s, she fell off. Her career now consists of being absolutely annoying on Twitter. She decided to hop the trend of impersonating Elon Musk and started telling people to vote blue. And I quote,
Griffin used her Elon Musk account Sunday to urge Americans to vote for Democrats in the midterm elections Tuesday to preserve abortion rights. And I quote again, I've decided that voting blue for their choice is only right, she wrote as Musk.
She did some other stuff, but this video is probably already an hour long, so I ain't hunting for it. I'm pretty sure trying to sway people's votes while impersonating someone else is a major faux pas, to say the least. Of course, she got banned.
Oh my God, this is terrible.
Sucks to suck.
Actually, she was suspended for impersonating a comedian.
Kathy Griffin then logged into her dead mother's account and started in with Musk again. This is what I'm talking about with celebrities who are chronically on Twitter.
I mean, you stole that joke, you asshole. People have been posting that joke for hours, you hack. Look, please do a better job of running this company. It used to mean something. This is Kathy Griffin, by the way.
What a charming story.
The fact that Kathy Griffin is calling Elon Musk a hack for repeating a joke that was hours old while she herself was doing a joke that was days old. Hypocrisy at its finest. In all honesty, why are you mad, honey? It's not like he's doing a comedy special, even though what he's been doing on Twitter has been funnier than what most comedians have come up with on Saturday Night Live in decades.
Elon, this is Maggie contacting you from the spirit world to tell you you're a douchebag. This is not parody. This is the actual ghost of Kathy Griffin's box wine loving mother saying I'm gonna get tipsy and throw my bingo cards at you. Not a parody. To the moon, ass. Free Kathy hashtag.
You know what's sad? This is the most relevant Kathy Griffin has been probably ever in her entire career, and she was on Seinfeld in the 90s. Now you may say, hey Gundam, why are you going so hard on Granny Kathy? Well, remember when she made the Trump joke where she got like a mask of Donald Trump and covered in like fake blood and held it up with a knife? I don't know where the humor was, but it was supposed to be there. And she got roasted on Twitter for it, big time. In fact, she got roasted nationally. Good Lord, did they drag her through the mud, mama. Then, after Trump was out of office and Biden was in and we were heading towards a lovely inflation that was America building back better.
You know, I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
She then tried to pin the backlash she received about her crappy Trump joke on Gamergate. At that point, I knew she would do or say anything to shift blame from herself or to stay relevant in the twilight of her career. And this is from a guy who makes trash YouTube videos.
Hey techie smarty pants followers of mine, do you think what happened with my Trump photo scandal being such an international overblown outrage could have been because of this Gamergate thing I've just learned about?
Yes, Kathy, it was Gamergate. It was guys who like to play Call of Duty, drink Monster Energy, and eat Cheetos that decided to get together nationally to absolutely roast you for being unfunny. Yes, it was the patriarchal society that screwed you over, not your own ineptitude at being relevant with the kids today. The move I would have made if I were you, because I'm sure you're rich, would have been to fade off into the sunset. Occasionally, post something funny, I know it's a stretch, and enjoy your life. I mean, you must have cash of all the money you throw into plastic surgery, for God's sakes, woman. Good Lord. If I got rich, dude, and like I was done, like it was over, my time was gone, I would have been like, whatever. Occasionally post something funny and then people go, hey, it's a Gundam. I remember that guy who used to be funny a long time ago. It's still, see you later, Grandpa. And it's like, goodbye, kids, goodbye. And then you leave, and then people have fond memories of you, rather than doing this and looking like a douchebag. Well, I'm sure there are tons of things I missed, and I tried to get this video out relatively quickly, considering people were saying they're expecting it, so here you go. I also tried to expose myself to as little cancer as possible, while also working on the G4 video on the side. So yeah, that's that.